Hi, my name is Jennifer Turner. I direct the China Environment Forum at the Woodrow Wilson Center, and I'm here today to talk about a new report put out by the U.S. National Academies of Sciences called Reckoning with the U.S. Role in Plastic Waste. The National Academy of Science report was tasked by Congress to understand how big is the U.S. plastic waste footprint. Well, we're number one in the world in terms of generating plastic waste. For a long time, we've been number one per capita, but now, we are one of the major contributors of the 8.8 million tons of plastic waste that flows into the ocean every year. It's about the equivalent of a garbage truck dumping plastic waste into the ocean every minute. And if we don't turn the tide on this kind of waste generation, by 2030, there's going to be 53 million tons of plastic waste in the ocean, which is equal about to the half the amount of fish that we pull out of the ocean every year. So the US is number one in generating single-use plastics. And many of us have been very good recyclers. We put our plastic into the recycling bin, but unfortunately, more and more the plastic packaging that we have, it's of low quality. The shape also can make it difficult to be recycled. But we have a lot of wish cycling. We put everything plastic into our recycling bins, but when it gets picked up by the recycling truck and sorted, a great percentage of it actually has to be landfilled or burned because it's just such a low quality. So single-use plastic waste is a global problem. For decades, the US and other developed countries have been shipping a lot of our plastic waste to China. China was recycling it, using it as industrial feedstock. It seemed like a perfect solution. But China, fast growing as it is, they started facing a lot of their own problems in dealing with their own domestic plastic waste. So in 2018, China closed the door to importing global plastic waste, and it's been a global wake-up call. The US and other countries have had to figure out, how can we start to reduce our plastic waste? And actually, in this new report from the National Academy of Sciences, it has thrown down the gauntlet and said that next year, the US really needs to start devising a new strategy on what we're going to do to rein in plastic waste. The National Academy's report on the US role in global plastic waste is really a call for urgent action, that the country needs a clear strategy on how to lessen plastic waste. For the last couple of years, there have been a number of different bills that have been dueling up on the Hill. We should just help recycling more. We should put more pressure on industry. And I think that the report really comes more solidly down on the fact that we need to reduce the actual production. Think of it like a bathtub. Your bathtub is overflowing. Do you get a mop or do you turn off the faucet? The National Academies of Sciences, I think, saying we need to turn off a faucet, and we need to have a concrete, comprehensive strategy, not too unlike kind of discussions that we have about climate change. I mean, climate change is a huge problem, and it demands a systemic response.